Thank you, Gurpal. Thank you, Bridget, for putting this beautiful program together. By the way, that wrestling club Gurpal was talking about, he's been going around telling everybody he beat me. He didn't beat me. I'm from Afghanistan, and when we're raised, when we're 5 years old, they tell us it's one of you and 20 Indians. You never lose. You never lose. Back in the days when we didn't have anything to do, we used to go rob Indians because we didn't know what to do. So now it looks like other people are robbing us. Well, I survived more than one Holocaust. I'm from Afghanistan, AFG, KBL, Kabul. I was there, I was born in 1981 in a small little village 30 kilometers away from Kabul. And we were forced to come to Kabul because of the war that was going on over there. The little space is called Wardak. That's where the 30 Navy SEALs died after they killed Osama. So it's a pretty dangerous place. I've been here since 1993, and I was always talking about going back. I was talking to my friends, I was talking to my family about going back. I never thought I would go back, but I recently did go back 3-4 times, and I got to see my city once again 20 years later. And it's much different. In 1993, when the communist government fell apart and the Mujahideen took over, my family had to escape. They had to escape on foot from Kabul to Jalalabad, and then from there we hopped onto a truck. It was very, very difficult getting a ride at that time in that place. So we ended up in Pakistan, Peshawar. From Pakistan, I was there for 6 months, and my dad is a wrestler. He was a coach for the national team of India and Bangladesh, and then finally he got some connection with YMCA, and we were sponsored to come here in 1993. So I come from a family of, an extended family. We had a lot of dogs, fighting dogs, not normal dogs. My older brother, who was also in the national wrestling team, he also used to take those dogs in the weekend, and they used to make them fight. That's a crime in America, but in Afghanistan, you know, it's the only thing we look forward to. Because every other day there's a war going on, so it was a big event. So when I came here, it was very different for me, because I came from an extended family. I came here, I was 12 years old. I was really an old man mentally, because I had gone through so much in the war. I mean, we just hear one people talk about one Holocaust, but there's a Holocaust going on right now in Palestine as we see it. There's a Holocaust going in every different country right now. So, but it's just some Holocausts don't get the attention that they should. So I came to Queens. It was very different for me. I'm the first to go to college in my family and continue with my master's. I grew up here in the 90s. When Tupac died, I didn't really know him. It didn't really matter at the time, but I found out 3 years later he was one of my favorite rappers when I learned how to speak English. I started here in 7th grade, and I didn't know how to speak English, so one day I was late to class. I ran through the hallway, I got to the class, and my teacher said, "Well, where are you coming from?" I didn't know English at the time, so I said, "I just came from Afghanistan." And everyone started laughing, and my teacher said, "Well, you did pretty well, at least you got here late. Come on in." So, my mind was more focused on getting some schooling. The whole bullying thing and other kids messing around, it wasn't really much of my interest. But I grew up in Flushing, where Martin Scorsese grew up. I grew up in Queens. I'm very happy for the diversity that Queens has given me. I have a very good friend, Gurpal here, who is Indian, who is Sikh. And I grew up with Indians. In Afghanistan, we don't have movies. We grew up on Indian movies. So I know how to speak the language, and it's like my own culture. I also went to Bombay one time too. So I came to America, and then Tupac died, and then Biggie died, and then I found out that they killed Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King died, and all these other guys that are just dying right and left. And I was like, well, at least I ran away from a war that was worse. Over here, at least they go get one guy. Back where we were, they were going getting a whole group. So, I went to your college. I went to a theater program, and a director there once was very close to me, Dr. Nicolich, also my mentor. One day we were doing Hamlet, and I went to play a volleyball game. I left the rehearsal, And she was really worried, and some kid came up to her and said, "Oh, do you know Andy's, no, that's not his name. His name is Affandy Yacoob. You know, he's from Afghanistan, right?" And this is 2002. So she was very afraid. She's like, "Well, we got to go find him." And some other kid said, "Why do we got to go find him?" And she said, "Well, he's from Afghanistan. He could be plotting a bomb in this theater." So my theater experience here was very, very unique for me. I'm probably one of the only Afghan kids, or at the time, interested in theater and going and seeing different places. I started thinking like, okay, you know, I come from a middle class. There was actually middle class people in Afghanistan, whether they show it on the news or not. I come from a middle class family, and I said, well, I could go for this. So I went to a few auditions, and every audition I went to, they said, well, you know, we got a terrorist role, we got a pizza boy role, well, we got a delivery guy role. I said, man, I want to play fucking Peter Parker. I didn't come here to do extra roles. What is this? Well, they said, well, then you gotta, you know, this, you know, this doesn't work this way. You gotta go and do your own thing. So I did make my own film in 2005. It's called Al Kareem, and it was screened in Tribeca. It's about social profiling, what happened after 9/11. Gurpal actually dared me in your college to wear my wrestling jacket that said Afghanistan in the back, KBL, Kabul, in 2001. I did it, nobody really cared. So at the time, even though the news was hyping up that a lot is happening, there wasn't much happening. All right, I'm just going to take it easy now. I think I'm like going down on an AK-47 with you guys. I told my wife actually not to come, and she did come. That's Saira Hossein. She's a psychiatrist, in case you guys see her or avoid her. She gets to your head. She's an illusionist. Thank you very much. Somebody got to stop me. Thank you.